Hi, it's Steve. Today we'd like to show you how to change the cooktop on your range. It's a really easy job. Let me show you how we do it. Now, to replace this part, we will need to disconnect power to the range. So either locate the electrical panel, turn off the appropriate breaker, or remove the appropriate fuses. And we'll also have to access the back of the range, so you'll need to pull it forward so that we can get at the back panel. Now, to remove the old top, our next step will be to open up the oven door, and along the front edge, you'll note there are 3 screws that secure that main top to a mounting bracket, and then there are 2 screws that secure that mounting bracket to the oven liner. So we take either of those out, and we're going to opt to remove the 2 screws that secure the bracket. We can then close the oven up again, and then we'll just gently lift up on either edge and just pull that top slightly forward. There are 2 clips at the back that slide into a slotted opening there. And what we want to do is make sure that those clips have a tab that is folded down so that they don't pull all the way out. Normally they're just a straight clip, and we want to put a little fold in them. So what we'll do is we'll bend that tab down. Just take a flat blade screwdriver, just put a little bit of a fold in that clip. We'll line this one back up on the back of that main top. The opposite one, we'll just press down on it just to put a little bit of a bend in it. Now we'll push that top back into position, and we want to make sure that those brackets line up with that opening. Now when we push it in, those 2 tabs that we bent will prevent it from being pulled out easily. Now next we're going to raise that top, and we're going to support it with some type of a prop. Now we've cut a couple of wooden sticks about 24 inches long. If we lift up on that top with a little pressure towards the back, make sure you can support that weight. And then we'll put our 2 props in place. And that will secure that top from moving. Take note of the location of the mounting screws on the edge. You may need to have somebody help support those elements as you remove those mounting screws. We'll do the same for the other bracket. And just carefully lay those assemblies on top of the insulation. Use caution with the surfaces of those elements. That material is fairly brittle. We don't want to damage those. Our next step will be to remove our support rods, and we'll lower that top down so that we can pull it completely off of the range itself. So just tilt it up enough and remove our supports. And carefully sit it down on top of those elements. And again, if it won't pull through, we're going to go to the back of the range. We'll take that top access panel off at the back, and we'll straighten out those tabs so that we can pull them off of that main top. And then we'll access that upper back panel, remove the screws that secure that to the cabinet. And just lift it away at the bottom and lower it down, and then we'll set that aside. Now with that upper access panel removed, we now will be able to see those mounting tabs, and if the center portion of those is bent down or up, we just simply need to just line it up parallel with the edges. And that will allow that bracket to slide out through that opening. As those are attached to the main top, they need to be able to be pulled right out through. So now we'll go to the front of the range again. We'll just grasp that top, lift it away from the elements, and pull it straight out through. We can then remove the mounting clips from that back lip so we can transfer them to our new panel. So we simply need to slide these hinge brackets off of the old top. We'll set those aside to reuse. As well, we also need to take that front mounting bracket off. Now there are 3 screws that secure it to the main top. Simply going to remove those. And we'll save that bracket so that we can reinstall that on our new top. We'll discard the old one. Slide that mounting bracket in underneath the front lip on that top, and then reinstall the screws. And we'll tighten those until we have all of them lined up. Now once they're all lined up, we'll tighten them securely. Then we'll install the hinge clips on the back edge of that top so that we can line that up. Just put them roughly about 1 inch in from either side. Once we set it in place, we can line them up exactly where they need to be. So now we're ready to put the top on the range. So with the main top back in place, we've got our brackets lined up with the slotted openings. Bend those tabs down so that it doesn't inadvertently pop out on us. We'll tilt it up. We'll put our supports in across the front. Make sure it's nice and secure. And then we'll go ahead and install those mounting brackets with the elements on them. Now again, you may wish to have somebody assist you with holding those in place. And carefully line up the back ones. You may find with the new top that the porcelain is partially covering those screw holes, so you may have to push hard to get the screw started. And tighten them all securely. Make sure our wiring harnesses are not stressed anywhere, and then we'll lower that main top down. We'll open up the oven door and reinstall the screws on the front. Now with the front secure, if you've removed the back, we'll need to reinstall that. Now when reinstalling that back panel, we want to make sure that we tuck the top edge of the panel in behind the lip on that console. Leave the 2 outer tabs on the edges out and line up that screw hole in the center. Install that one. Line up the rear corners, and then put in the rest of the retaining screws. And now we're ready to push the range back into position. And now we're ready to reconnect the power, and your repair is complete.